Hello, fellow Americans. I'm coming to you from room 111 at Clintondale Middle School to talk about the Chapter 15 test. And the Chapter 15 test is about the expansion of our country from east of the Mississippi River all the way to the Pacific Ocean. This is a term that we have in social studies called manifest destiny. And manifest destiny was the Americans' belief that it was our duty and our right given by God for us to expand all the way from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, from sea to shining sea. And the person who kind of invented this term, manifest destiny, he was a newspaper writer named John O'Sullivan. So one of the questions on the test is about manifest destiny, and it's our belief. What manifest destiny is it's a belief that we have the right to expand our country to the Pacific Ocean and something and beyond. The first step in this was the Louisiana Purchase, and when Thomas Jefferson made the Louisiana Purchase in the year 1803, he doubled the size of the United States, making our country twice as big. We also acquired Florida through diplomacy. We were really getting tired of the Seminole raids in coming from Florida into Georgia, and we had a situation where runaway slaves would often hide in the swamps in Florida. So we sent Andrew Jackson down there, and as soon as we did that, the Spanish were like, it's not worth a war. So we really gained Florida through diplomacy. We also gained Oregon through diplomacy, even though President Polk claimed that if we didn't get the whole piece of land, we were going to fight. We actually decided not to fight over it, and we decided to divide Oregon in half. The northern half is part of Canada. It's called British Columbia, and the southern half is Oregon and Washington. But back then it was called the Oregon Country. Halfway done. One of the reasons that Texas became its own country in the year 1836 is after they captured Santa Ana. They wanted to become part of the United States. Most of the people that were in Texas wanted them to join us, but problem was they were going to be a slave state, and not just a little slave state. They were going to be a gigantic slave state. And states in the north like Massachusetts and Connecticut and Rhode Island that were teeny tiny weren't comfortable with this giant slave state entering the Union. They would have to wait 9 years, and they entered the Union in 1845. Now, when they entered the Union, this really angered Mexico, and a war between the United States and Mexico actually started because of a border dispute in Texas between the United States and Mexico. Which river was the dividing line is what caused the war that ended up getting us not only Texas, but California, Utah, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, and this is called the Mexican Cession. Okay, Mexico lost half of its land to us in the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, and that was in the year 1848. The last piece of land that we were talking about is the Gadsden Purchase. The Gadsden Purchase was a piece of land that we purchased from Mexico in the year 1853. And to be honest with you, I think Mexico sold it to us because I think we would have probably taken it anyway if they didn't sell it to us. So anyway, we bought that land because we wanted a smooth railroad route to build a railroad from the East Coast all the way out to California. So these are the test question answers. I hope you study what I've just told you. Look the stuff up, study it. This has been one of my best videos so far. Make sure that you put some time in tonight. Make sure that your notes are completed. Make sure that the assignment that I gave you today, the worksheet that I gave on the war with Mexico, is completed. A lot of stuff is going to be turned in tomorrow. The test, both pages of notes, and the worksheet. God bless you, and God bless America.